Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Science Channel. I'm so glad you found your way here tonight. Maybe it's been a long day, or maybe you're someone who likes to drift to sleep with quiet wonder, letting thoughts of distant worlds replace the noise of daily life. There's nothing you need to do now but rest. Let your mind grow still, your breathing slow, and your body light. Because tonight, we're not just closing our eyes, we're traveling through Jupiter. From swirling clouds and ancient storms to frozen moons and magnetic whispers, we'll explore 100 sleepy facts to help you relax, unwind, and dream of the cosmos. And if these calm explorations help you rest, consider liking and subscribing. It helps other sleepy travelers find their way here too. Now, close your eyes, and let's begin. Fact 1. The cloud that became a king. Long before Jupiter wore its crown of moons and storms, it began as a quiet gathering of gas. In the earliest days of the solar system, dust and hydrogen drifted through the cold void, nudged gently by gravity into a slow spiral. Over time, those invisible hands pulled more and more material inward until something vast began to take shape. Jupiter was not born in fire, like a star, but in the hush of accumulation. A ghostly seed of rock and ice cradled the growing mass, wrapped in clouds that thickened with every passing century. The cloud became a planet, and that planet became the king. Far beyond Earth, Jupiter's story began in silence. Fact 2. The birthplace of giants. Jupiter's birth wasn't just the story of one world. It marked the beginning of a planetary dynasty. Astronomers believe that Jupiter formed first, before any of the other planets, like a cosmic elder sibling standing watch in the outer solar system. Its gravity cleared a path, sculpted orbits, and set the tone for everything that followed. In the nursery of the sun, it was the first giant to rise, and it made space for others to follow. Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn may never have grown so large without Jupiter's early influence. It wasn't just a planet, it was the beginning of scale. Fact 3. Spinning into being. Even as it was forming, Jupiter began to spin, and it never stopped. Today, it completes a full rotation in just under 10 hours, making it the fastest spinning planet in the solar system. That speed flattens its poles and bulges its belly, giving it a softly squashed shape. Imagine an enormous marble twirling in slow motion, its clouds streaked into bands by its own momentum. This spin stirs storms, churns gases, and fuels the rhythms of its deep interior. Jupiter spins like it remembers the dance it was born into, and that motion still echoes through its every layer. Fact 4. A planet of ancient gas. Jupiter is made mostly of hydrogen and helium, the very same ingredients that built the sun. These elements are the oldest in the universe, born in the first few minutes after the Big Bang. So when you gaze upon Jupiter, you're looking at something nearly as ancient as time itself. The gases swirling through its atmosphere are relics of creation, unchanged in their essence for billions of years. Though it never caught fire like a star, Jupiter holds the universe's first breath in its immense frame. To rest beneath its clouds is to dream in the language of beginnings. Fact 5. A failed star's soft glow. Sometimes, Jupiter is called a failed star. It has the same basic materials, but never grew quite large enough to ignite fusion in its core. Had it been about 80 times more massive, it might have lit like the sun, burning instead of glowing. But perhaps it was never meant to burn. Instead, Jupiter hums with a gentle internal heat, quietly releasing more energy than it receives from the sun. This warmth rises through its vast body, giving life to storms and colors in the cloud tops. Jupiter didn't fail to be a star. It simply chose a different kind of light. Fact 6. A heart hidden deep within. Though it's cloaked in endless clouds, Jupiter may hold something solid at its core. A heart made of rock, metal, and ice. No one knows for sure. The pressures inside are too great to see, too distant to reach. But models suggest that deep beneath the gas, a compact core may still remain, formed in the very first days of the solar system. It might be larger than Earth, or it might have blurred into liquid metals long ago. Whatever lies at Jupiter's center, it is ancient, secret, and buried in silence. And far above it, the clouds continue to drift. Fact 7. Why Jupiter didn't ignite. Jupiter holds within it the same raw material as a star, but just not quite enough. If it had gathered more mass, its core could have become hot and dense enough to fuse hydrogen, like the Sun does. But Jupiter stopped growing before it crossed that line. It's thought that the young Sun's solar winds blew away much of the gas left in the solar system, halting Jupiter's growth just in time. So instead of burning bright, Jupiter remained a gentle giant, massive but quiet. It came close to being a star, but settled into stillness instead. Fact 8. The heavyweight of our solar family. Jupiter is the largest and most massive planet in our solar system, more than twice as heavy as all the other planets combined. If you gathered every planet, moon, asteroid, and comet, Jupiter would still outweigh them all. Its gravity is strong enough to bend the paths of comets, hold dozens of moons in place, and shape the very structure of the solar system. Yet despite its weight, Jupiter is made mostly of light gases, not heavy rock. It is a giant not of stone, but of breath, floating with power through the deep. Fact 9. How Jupiter shaped the Sun's court. Jupiter's gravity has been sculpting the solar system for billions of years. As it moved through space in its early youth, it disrupted forming planets, swept up stray rocks, and may have even helped fling others into distant orbits. Some scientists believe it may have pushed one ancient planet into the Sun and scattered another so far it disappeared forever. Others think it cleared out space for Earth and its neighbors to grow. The planets orbit as they do because Jupiter made space for their dance. It was both guardian and sculptor, quietly shaping a world it would never touch. Fact 10. The guardian of the inner planets. Jupiter's massive presence acts like a cosmic shield for Earth and the other inner planets. Its gravity captures or redirects many comets and asteroids that might otherwise wander inward. Over time, it has pulled some into its orbit, flung others away, or sent them harmlessly into the Sun. Without Jupiter, Earth might have faced many more devastating impacts. It doesn't stop every threat, but it changes the odds in our favor. Out there in the cold, Jupiter keeps a quiet watch, protecting worlds it will never touch. Fact 11. Clouds and shades of dreams. Jupiter's atmosphere is a swirling canvas of soft color, from deep rust and creamy beige to faded rose and icy white. Its clouds drift in long, sweeping bands. These colors come from trace chemicals and sunlight reactions, painting a living sky that never stays still. Some bands rise while others sink, moving in opposite directions like rivers of wind. To look upon Jupiter is to watch a planet in constant motion, yet full of stillness. Its clouds move like thoughts before sleep, slow, layered, and endlessly shifting. Fact 12. A sky made of ammonia and ice. The upper clouds of Jupiter are made mostly of ammonia, not the harsh kind used in cleaners, but gentle crystals formed in extreme cold. These icy flakes float high in the atmosphere, where temperatures can dip far below freezing. Beneath them, deeper layers of water and other gases create thick, stormy decks of cloud. It's a sky built in layers, soft on top, turbulent below. And within that sky, every flake and swirl whispers the long story of a restless world. Fact 13. The layer beneath the light. Beneath Jupiter's bright upper clouds lies a deeper, darker world, a layer hidden from view, where the pressure begins to rise and the sunlight fades. Here, water clouds form, thick and heavy, far below the icy ammonia veil above. The temperatures grow warmer, the winds wilder, and the gases heavier, creating a world of shifting storms and unseen currents. No spacecraft has ever seen this layer directly, but its presence is known through subtle signs, like shadows behind a curtain. This is where the gas giant begins to breathe in silence. Fact 14. Liquid metallic oceans. As we go deeper still, the pressure becomes immense, so strong that hydrogen, the lightest element in the universe, begins to behave like a metal. In this strange, hidden ocean, hydrogen flows as a thick, metallic liquid. It conducts electricity, responds to Jupiter's rotation, and may swirl in vast currents beneath the clouds. This metallic sea doesn't sparkle or ripple. It moves slowly, weightlessly, in the dark, silent and unseen. It is an ocean with no shore, and it wraps around the heart of the planet. Fact 15. A core lost in mystery. At Jupiter's very center may lie a dense, mysterious core, a place where rock, ice, and metal are crushed into something new. But no one knows exactly what it looks like. The immense weight of the planet above may have melted or scattered this core into strange, fuzzy layers. Or perhaps it remains intact, buried beneath the metallic hydrogen, like a fossil of the solar system's youth. This secret has never been seen. It waits in silence, untouched by light. Jupiter's heart remains hidden, a riddle wrapped in gravity. Fact 16. Heat that rises from within. Though Jupiter is far from the sun, it shines gently with its own warmth. In fact, the giant planet emits more heat than it receives, a quiet glow born from deep within. This warmth is thought to come from the slow contraction of the planet's vast body, a process that still releases energy even after billions of years. Like a faint ember tucked inside a snowdrift, Jupiter holds on to the memory of its birth. Its heat rises upward through clouds and storms, fueling the planet's endless motion. Jupiter is not cold, it is quietly warm, from the inside out. Fact 17. A world without a surface. Unlike Earth or Mars, Jupiter has no solid ground. There is no surface to land on, no crust to stand upon, only layer after layer of thickening gas. As you descend, the atmosphere grows denser and darker, until pressure and temperature blur the line between air and liquid. Eventually, the gases become so compressed they act more like fluid than sky. To fall into Jupiter is to fall forever, deeper, warmer, heavier, with no place to land. It is a world made not of rock, but of depth. Fact 18. The planet that radiates its own light. Though Jupiter does not burn like a star, it glows faintly in infrared, invisible to our eyes, but bright to special telescopes. This gentle radiation comes from the planet's internal heat, escaping slowly into space. To instruments tuned to this quiet light, Jupiter appears not just as a ball of gas, but as a living, breathing sphere, pulsing gently with warmth, cloud patterns, and swirling energy. It is a kind of ghost light, born not of fire, but of gravity's memory, and it softly lights the space around it, like a lantern beneath a deep sea. Fact 19. Jupiter's gentle glow in infrared. When scientists look at Jupiter through infrared eyes, a new world appears, one shaped by heat, not sunlight. The planet glows softly in this invisible light, revealing the hidden warmth rising from within. Bright spots show where heat escapes through thin clouds, while dark patches mark thicker, colder regions. It's like seeing Jupiter's breath, a slow, steady exhale that never stops. Even in the darkness of space, Jupiter has a glow all its own, warm, quiet, and alive. Fact 20. A stormy symphony in every layer. Jupiter is a planet of weather, not just on the surface, but all the way down. Its atmosphere is made of countless layers, each one alive with motion. Above, the clouds streak and swirl in great bands, driven by jet streams faster than anything on Earth. Deeper down, hidden storms churn in silence, stirred by heat from below and spin from within. Each layer plays its own part in a grand, invisible orchestra of wind. And together, they create a music we cannot hear. But that never stops playing. Fact 21. The storm that never sleeps. In Jupiter's southern hemisphere swirls a storm so vast, so ancient, it has its own name, the Great Red Spot. This swirling oval of cloud is over 10,000 miles wide, large enough to swallow Earth whole. And it's been raging for at least 300 years, possibly far longer. No one knows why it endures. It spins counterclockwise, with winds that reach hundreds of miles per hour, wrapped in hues of dusty red and cream. It is not a storm as we know it. It is a monument of motion, forever turning in the quiet of space. Fact 22. 3 Earths could drift inside. The Great Red Spot is not just large, it is colossal. At its widest, this ancient storm spans over 16,000 kilometers, wide enough to fit 3 Earths side by side with room to spare. Its size alone makes it one of the most awe-inspiring features in the solar system. And yet, despite its vastness, the storm floats calmly in the southern hemisphere of Jupiter, like a painted eye drifting through marble clouds. No mountain holds it in place. No continent guides its flow. It simply persists, formed by the difference in winds above and below, spinning endlessly between 2 great bands of opposing currents. Telescopes have watched it shrink over the years, slowly contracting, but it still remains vast, mysterious, and profoundly persistent. To imagine Earth caught in its spin is to feel the scale of the cosmos, how small we truly are, and how magnificent the storms of giants can be. Within its oval eye, time itself seems to slow. Fact 23. A crimson eye in the clouds. From afar, the Great Red Spot looks like a soft wound in Jupiter's pale skin, a swirling reddish eye that never blinks. But up close, it's not red in the way a sunset is red. Its color is more complex, a blend of faded coral, dusty rose, and burnt orange. Scientists still don't fully understand what gives the storm its tint. Some believe sunlight reacts with chemicals like phosphorus or sulfur, creating reddish compounds in the upper clouds. Others think it may be caused by deeper materials dredged up from the lower atmosphere. Whatever the cause, the color has changed with time, sometimes deepening, sometimes fading, like a living bruise on the face of the planet. To watch the Great Red Spot is to see art in motion. Every swirl is a brushstroke, every eddy a breath. And in its center, the wind slow, the clouds smooth, like the pupil of a sleeping eye, always watching, always turning. Fact 24. Winds faster than sound. Though it looks calm from millions of miles away, the Great Red Spot is a storm of unimaginable force. Within its spinning walls, winds howl at speeds of over 400 miles per hour. faster than any hurricane on Earth. These are not gusts that come and go. They are constant, wrapped in a spiral that has lasted for centuries. There are no calm days in the red spot, no breaks in the weather. It is a tireless dance of pressure, motion, and momentum. Unlike Earth storms, which are powered by oceans and land, Jupiter's storms are fueled by internal heat and rapid rotation. The red spot is trapped between powerful jet streams that feed it energy, like a wheel caught in an endless current. And yet, beneath that violence, there is beauty. A pattern of spirals within spirals, soft curls of cloud moving like steam in slow water. It is a storm that breathes in silence, but speaks of power older than memory. Fact 25. A planet-wide ballet of bands. Jupiter wears its atmosphere in long, flowing stripes, bands of soft color that wrap around the planet like ribbons in motion. These bands are known as zones and belts, alternating light and dark regions that encircle the globe from east to west. Each band flows in a different direction, driven by powerful jet streams that travel hundreds of miles per hour. Where they meet, turbulence forms, swirling storms, eddies, and ovals that dance at the seams. The light zones are higher and cooler, made mostly of rising ammonia clouds. The darker belts are lower, warmer, and filled with descending gases. From afar, these stripes look like a painting. Soft, pastel layers brushed across a spinning sphere. But within them lies constant motion, a ballet of air, masses swirling without rest. No 2 days are ever the same. To look at Jupiter's bands is to see wind made visible, like the slow breathing of a sleeping giant, wrapped in endless motion. Fact 26. White ovals in a sea of tan. Among Jupiter's many swirling features are smaller storms known as white ovals. These bright, almond-shaped swirls are long-lived anticyclonic storms, smaller cousins to the Great Red Spot. Some white ovals can last for decades, calmly spinning in place as the surrounding winds flow by. They tend to form in the southern hemisphere, nestled between jet streams that cradle them gently, like pearls in a stream. Though they appear simple from afar, each oval is a world of internal motion. Cloud layers spiraling slowly inward, rotating in peace within the larger chaos. Some even merge with one another, joining forces to create larger and more complex systems. In the sea of tan and rust-colored clouds, these white ovals shimmer like ice crystals on velvet. They are quiet, enduring storms, graceful and resilient. Watching them is like watching a waltz in slow motion, where each dancer turns with care and grace, never rushing, never resting. Fact 27. Lightning in the darkest depths. Beneath Jupiter's thick clouds, far below what any camera can see, lightning flashes in the dark. These are not gentle flickers, but vast bolts of energy, some more powerful than any lightning on Earth. They crackle in silence through towering storm clouds, deep in the water-rich layers of Jupiter's lower atmosphere. These bolts reveal where moisture and energy collide, forming towering thunderheads that rise dozens of miles high. Because sunlight barely reaches these depths, the lightning here lights the sky in brief, haunting bursts, illuminating shadows and revealing secrets for a fraction of a second. Juno, the NASA spacecraft orbiting Jupiter, has captured these flashes from orbit, like cosmic fireflies flickering in an endless night. This lightning doesn't roar or rumble. It simply appears and vanishes, whispering of energy hidden beneath the surface. Even in the deepest layers, Jupiter is alive with storms and lightning that dreams in silence. Fact 28. Auroras that never fade. At Jupiter's poles, something extraordinary happens. Curtains of light ripple through the sky, not just during solar storms, but every single day. These auroras are the brightest and most powerful in the solar system, glowing even when the sun is quiet. Unlike Earth's northern and southern lights, which appear only during geomagnetic activity, Jupiter's auroras are powered by more than just the sun. They are fueled by the planet's massive magnetic field and the constant, restless motion of charged particles. As Jupiter spins, it drags its magnetic field with it, sweeping particles into the upper atmosphere at the poles. When those particles strike atoms in the air, they cause them to glow, dancing silently in ultraviolet and X-ray light. These lights can't be seen with human eyes, but instruments on spacecraft like Juno have revealed their shape, ovals of radiant energy that never truly fade. Jupiter's poles are like glowing halos, humming softly in the vacuum of space. And in their glow, the planet whispers to the stars. Fact 29. Thunderheads, taller than mountains. Jupiter's storms rise higher than anything on Earth, far taller than Everest, denser than any terrestrial thundercloud. These towering columns are driven by the immense heat rising from the planet's deep interior. In places, ammonia and water vapor rise together, forming clouds that churn and bubble like boiling soup in a vast, invisible pot. As the gases rise and cool, they condense into massive thunderheads, each one capable of holding lightning bolts more powerful than Earth's strongest. Some of these storms may reach over 60 kilometers in height. Imagine a thundercloud stretching from sea level past the edge of Earth's atmosphere, and then doubling that again. Their tops ripple in the upper atmosphere, smoothed by jet streams and softened by distance. From above, they look like petals or fans, calm and beautiful. But beneath, the winds rage and the lightning strikes in silence. In Jupiter's sky, even the storms reach toward the stars. Fact 30. The eternal motion of a gas giant. There is no calm center on Jupiter, no day without weather, no edge to its winds. The entire planet is in motion, always. Its stripes of clouds twist and tumble, its storms circle endlessly, and its interior stirs with heat and spin. Some currents rise, others fall. Some flow east, others west. The deeper you go, the more the gases thicken, and the more mysterious the movement becomes. Scientists believe that Jupiter's atmosphere may extend thousands of kilometers downward with currents that never stop, driven by ancient energy trapped since the planet's birth. There is no surface to anchor the weather, no solid land to slow the storms. Everything floats, everything turns, everything breathes. Jupiter is not just a planet, it is a symphony of movement, a slow, deep rhythm that never rests, never ends. And to listen to it is to hear the universe turning in its sleep. Fact 31. The largest magnetic field of any planet. Jupiter is not just the largest planet. It also has the largest magnetic field in the entire solar system. This immense, invisible structure stretches far beyond the clouds, forming a bubble in space so wide it would appear twice as big as the full moon if we could see it from Earth. Its field is 14 times stronger than Earth's and far more complex, looping and twisting in shapes no simple compass could follow. This magnetic might is born deep within Jupiter's core, where the pressure turns hydrogen into a strange metallic liquid, a conductor swirling with every spin. As this liquid rotates, it generates a magnetic field so strong that it dominates a huge portion of the solar system. Jupiter's field captures particles, creates radiation belts, and shapes entire regions of space. It is a storm of invisible power, a presence felt by spacecraft long before they reach the planet itself. Jupiter does not just exist, it commands. Fact 32. Invisible wings that stretch for millions of miles. Jupiter's magnetic field isn't a simple sphere. It stretches into a shape known as a magnetosphere, with wings that flow outward like an immense unseen butterfly. On the side facing the Sun, the magnetosphere is compressed by solar wind, forming a rounded shield. But on the far side, it stretches out like a long, tapering tail, millions of miles long, drifting silently through the dark. This magnetotail reaches far past Saturn's orbit, enclosing space in a great magnetic cocoon. It guides charged particles, shapes the paths of moons, and glows softly with radiation invisible to our eyes. Within this vast field, particles spiral and dance, caught in loops that can take hours or days to complete. Some fall toward Jupiter, where they spark auroras at the poles. Others drift endlessly, trapped in magnetic silence. This magnetosphere is not something we can see, but it is there, like wings of force spread wide across the sky, a giant's embrace, too vast to touch. Fact 33. A magnetosphere, bigger than the Sun. Jupiter's magnetic field is so immense that it could encompass the entire Sun and still have room to spare. While the Sun is over 100 times wider than Earth, Jupiter's magnetosphere, at its fullest extent, spans nearly 5 million miles across. That means if it were visible in the night sky, it would be one of the largest objects we could ever see, dwarfing even the Moon or any star. But this vast structure isn't made of matter. It's made of magnetism and charged particles, of energy flowing in silence. It creates radiation belts so intense they would damage unprotected spacecraft in minutes. And yet, it also protects, shielding Jupiter's moons from cosmic rays, sculpting their atmospheres, and giving rise to their own miniature auroras. To imagine something bigger than the Sun, made not of light, but of force, is to glimpse the hidden scales of nature. Jupiter's magnetosphere is not just large, it is sublime. Fact 34. The planet that hums in radio. Though silent to human ears, Jupiter is a planet that sings. It emits powerful radio waves produced by the movements of its charged particles and magnetic fields. These waves drift through space like ghostly music, detectable by spacecraft and radio telescopes here on Earth. Some of these emissions are steady, like a constant whisper. Others come in bursts, rapid-fire pulses, and eerie crackles that rise and fall with Jupiter's rotation or the movement of its moons. Io, in particular, sparks intense radio storms as it interacts with the planet's magnetic field, creating a kind of magnetic friction that releases waves of energy. If you could hear them translated into sound, they might resemble chirps, howls, or the clicking of distant stars. These radio voices are not random. They are messages from a vast, invisible world, the sounds of Jupiter's magnetosphere, always alive, always singing. In the darkness between planets, Jupiter's hum is a lullaby carried on silence. Fact 35. A field born of metallic rain. Deep inside Jupiter, where the pressure is beyond comprehension and the heat never fades, strange things begin to happen. One of the most extraordinary is the transformation of hydrogen, the universe's simplest element, into something metallic. Here, under crushing forces, hydrogen atoms are squeezed so tightly that they behave like liquid metal. This metallic hydrogen flows in massive, swirling currents, rotating with the planet, and generating its enormous magnetic field, much like a dynamo inside a spinning engine. But even stranger, Scientists now believe that in some regions, droplets of helium may rain down through this metallic ocean, like heavy pearls falling through liquid steel. This helium rain could help explain the planet's internal heat and its glowing energy. These rains are not storms we would ever see. No clouds, no splashes. Just silence and falling droplets of something otherworldly. In the heart of Jupiter, even the rain is a whisper of gravity and wonder. Fact 36. Jupiter's magnetic shield. Jupiter's magnetic field does more than glow and hum. It protects. Like Earth's own magnetic shield, it blocks streams of charged particles from the sun, deflecting them and sheltering the space within. But Jupiter's version is far stronger, wrapping its entire planetary system in a protective cocoon. This shield creates safe zones for some of Jupiter's moons, shielding them from harsh solar radiation. It also shapes their orbits, sculpts their atmospheres, and gives rise to unique patterns of interaction, like magnetic fingerprints etched in space. The field is not still. It changes with time, tilts slightly with the planet's rotation, and flares with solar activity. When a solar storm arrives, the shield ripples like a pond, sending waves through the magnetic tail. Jupiter's shield is a guardian, invisible but constant, a great protector in a cold and empty sea. Within its embrace, storms rage, moons dance, and the giant rests, safe within its own strength. Fact 37. Trapped particles, dancing in loops. Within Jupiter's magnetic field, charged particles, electrons, and ions are caught in an endless dance. These particles come from the solar wind, from Jupiter's atmosphere, and even from its volcanic moon Io. Once inside the field, they spiral along magnetic lines, moving in great loops that can stretch for thousands of miles. These loops are not like wires, and the particles do not travel in straight paths. Instead, they trace corkscrew patterns, spiraling between the planet's magnetic poles, bouncing back and forth in a rhythm shaped by speed, charge, and field strength. To imagine it, picture a firefly caught in a glass sphere, spinning not randomly, but along precise, invisible paths, glowing softly, circling forever. The field keeps them confined, like dancers locked in orbit, forming Jupiter's radiation belts. Some of these belts are so intense they could fry electronics in minutes. Others simply shimmer, holding their charge with quiet grace. These trapped particles are the breath of a field unseen, forever dancing in the dark. Fact 38. Why Jupiter glows in X-rays. While it may seem strange, Jupiter, a planet of gas and cloud, glows in X-rays, like a hidden star. But this glow doesn't come from the planet's heat or light. It comes from energy. When high-energy particles from space spiral into Jupiter's poles, they strike the upper atmosphere and excite atoms, particularly oxygen and sulfur, which emit powerful X-rays in response. These emissions can vary from hour to hour, pulsing like a heartbeat in the polar sky. Earth has auroras too, but Jupiter's are far stronger. Some of its X-ray bursts are thousands of times more energetic than anything we see on our own world. They are fed not just by solar storms, but by the planet's intense magnetic field, by the volcanic gases from Io, and by internal mechanisms we still don't fully understand. These flashes, captured by telescopes like Chandra and XMM Newton, show us a different Jupiter, one alive with unseen fire. A gas giant that speaks in invisible light, glowing gently in the void. Fact 39. Jupiter's voice in the cosmic chorus. Among all the planets, Jupiter has perhaps the strongest voice in the electromagnetic spectrum. Not in sound as we hear it, but in waves that ripple across space. Spacecraft that have flown past Jupiter, like Voyager, Cassini, and Juno, have recorded bursts of radio energy unlike anything found near other worlds. Some are steady and low, like a soft hum. Others are wild and erratic, with whistles, pops, and rising tones like bird calls or distant thunderstorms. These sounds, once converted into audio, paint a portrait of a restless electric world. Scientists use them to study the behavior of Jupiter's magnetic field, its interaction with the solar wind, and the movements of its moons. It is as if Jupiter is playing an instrument of plasma and field, with notes that change as the planets and stars align. In the symphony of the solar system, Jupiter is a deep and constant drum, always there, always playing. Fact 40. The hidden depths of planetary power. Jupiter's magnetism isn't just a vast shield. It's a force that shapes everything around it. It influences the movement of particles, the atmospheres of moons, and the glow of distant auroras. But perhaps most intriguingly, it helps us explore what lies deep inside the planet itself. As Jupiter spins, it tugs on its own gravity field, slightly, subtly, creating tiny shifts that spacecraft like Juno can measure. These measurements tell us how mass is distributed beneath the clouds. From them, scientists can infer what the planet's core might be like, how thick its layers are, and how far down the wind patterns reach. Like listening to the sound of a bell to learn its shape, we study Jupiter's invisible forces to learn what cannot be seen. Its power isn't just in motion. It's in the silent shaping of space, structure, and mystery. Through its pull, Jupiter reveals what it keeps hidden. And from that hidden heart, we drift now to its orbiting children. Fact 41. The Four that Galileo saw. In the year 1610, through a small telescope of his own making, Galileo Galilei saw something that changed the world. 4 tiny points of light dancing beside the planet Jupiter. He observed them night after night, and they moved. At first, he thought they were stars, but then he realized they were moons, orbiting Jupiter just as our moon orbits Earth. This was a radical idea at the time, one that challenged the notion that all celestial bodies revolved around the Earth. Those moons are now known as the Galilean moons: Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. They remain 4 of the most extraordinary objects in the solar system, each with its own secrets, its own weather, its own story. Galileo's discovery showed us that the heavens were more complex than we imagined. And even now, those same moons drift around Jupiter like old companions, locked in a graceful, endless ballet. They are the first moons we ever saw, and still among the most wondrous. Fact 42. A moon, called Io. Among Jupiter's many moons, Io is the most volcanic, not just in the Jovian system, but in the entire solar system. Its surface is a tapestry of fire and sulfur, reshaped constantly by eruptions that rise miles into the sky. Io is heated from within, not by sunlight, but by the tug of war between Jupiter's gravity and the pulls of neighboring moons. This constant stretching and squeezing melts its insides, fueling its dramatic volcanic activity. Its plains are painted in yellows, reds, and blacks, the colors of molten rock and sulfur frost. Geysers of lava burst from cracks, cooling into jagged terrain. No craters remain long. The moon refreshes itself with every breath. And though it seems wild, Io is not chaotic. It moves in time with Europa and Ganymede, locked in a rhythmic orbital resonance, like dancers tied by invisible strings. Io is a world of fire, orbiting a planet of wind. Fact 43. Volcanoes and endless eruption. Io is a moon that never rests. Beneath its surface, heat builds and bursts, shaping a landscape in constant motion. More than 400 active volcanoes dot its crust, making it the most geologically active world we know. These aren't volcanoes like we see on Earth. Some send plumes of sulfur and ash hundreds of kilometers into space, while others ooze lava across colorful plains, rivers of molten rock painting yellow deserts and red scars. The source of this heat lies in Jupiter's grip. As Io orbits, it's pulled by Jupiter's powerful gravity and pushed by its neighboring moons. This tidal tug-of-war stretches the moon like a rubber band, heating it from within. No crater lasts long on Io. Everything is quickly buried, reformed, or scorched anew. It is a moon forever remaking itself. And yet, in its rhythm, there's peace. Each eruption is part of a larger song, one of motion, heat, and the quiet voice of a distant moon whispering in fire. Fact 44. Europa's frozen shell. Next to fiery Io lies Europa, a moon wrapped in ice. At first glance, it looks quiet, smooth, pale, and streaked with dark lines that stretch for thousands of miles. But beneath that quiet shell, something stirs. Europa's icy crust is only a few kilometers thick, and below it lies a vast, hidden ocean, a sea that may be twice the volume of all Earth's oceans combined. The ice above moves slowly, cracking and shifting, shaped by tides from Jupiter's gravitational pull. The dark lines that scar its surface are fractures, places where the ice has broken and refrozen, leaving a record of motion written in frozen ink. Europa is cold, silent, and beautiful, but it is not still. Its frozen face hides a restless sea, warmed by the same tidal forces that ignite Io's volcanoes. To drift above Europa is to float over a secret ocean, sealed in silence, and yet, somehow, full of potential. Fact 45. An ocean. Beneath the ice. Europa's most profound mystery is its hidden ocean, a body of water that never sees sunlight, yet may hold everything needed for life. Warmed from below by tidal energy, this ocean doesn't freeze, even in the deep cold of the outer solar system. It is thought to be salty, rich in minerals, and possibly connected to the icy surface by cracks that allow materials to pass through. Occasionally, geysers of water have been seen erupting from Europa's surface, spraying hundreds of kilometers into space. These plumes are like whispers from the deep, offering glimpses into what lies beneath. If life exists elsewhere in our solar system, many scientists believe Europa is one of the most promising places to find it. Microbial life, drifting in the dark, warmed by nothing but gravity and time. Europa's ocean is not just water. It is a dream held in silence. And beneath its ice, something may be waiting, patiently, gently, just beneath the surface. Fact 46. Ganymede, the largest of them. All Ganymede is not only the largest moon of Jupiter, it's the largest moon in the entire solar system. Bigger even than the planet Mercury, it spans over 5,200 kilometers across, making it a true world in its own right. Despite its size, Ganymede is a quiet, ancient place. Its surface is a mix of bright, icy plains and darker, older terrain scarred by impacts. Cracks and ridges stretch for hundreds of miles, hinting at internal forces that have shaped it gently over time. Beneath its crust, scientists believe Ganymede hides a saltwater ocean, perhaps 100 kilometers deep, sandwiched between layers of ice. Though it lies farther from Jupiter than Europa, it may also hold conditions where life could someday be found. Ganymede orbits calmly, like a slow-moving guardian among Jupiter's moons. It is massive, but never boastful, ancient, but not forgotten. To float beside Ganymede is to feel stillness, the slow breath of a frozen giant beneath a gas giant sky. Fact 47. A moon with its own magnetic field. Among all the moons in the solar system, only one has a magnetic field of its own, Ganymede. This strange and beautiful trait sets it apart, not just in size, but in nature. While most moons are shaped only by the fields of their planets, Ganymede creates its own invisible bubble, a miniature magnetosphere that exists within Jupiter's larger one. This field is likely generated by a liquid iron core, much like Earth's. As Ganymede spins, molten metal flows deep within, creating a gentle but persistent magnetic presence. And where this field meets Jupiter's, complex interactions occur, fields twisting together, particles spiraling, auroras flaring in the moon's thin atmosphere. These auroras shift with the tides of Jupiter's pull, and their dance has helped scientists confirm the presence of Ganymede's subsurface ocean. The way they wiggle tells us what lies beneath the ice. Ganymede does not shout. It hums softly, a magnetic song in a frozen world. Fact 48. Callisto's ancient, quiet face. Farther out, past the stormy activity of Io and Europa, beyond the vast calm of Ganymede, lies Callisto, the oldest, quietest of Jupiter's great moons. Callisto's surface is ancient and cratered, a frozen archive of cosmic history. Unlike the younger moons, it shows no signs of recent resurfacing or interactivity. Every mark, every impact has remained for billions of years. It is a place of stillness, untouched by tides or fire. Callisto may also hold a buried ocean beneath its crust, though deeper and darker than the others. Its silence doesn't mean emptiness, only patience. Some even call it the dead moon, but perhaps that's not fair. In its quiet, Callisto offers something rare: continuity. It has watched the solar system unfold for longer than almost any other body. It remembers everything. Callisto is the elder moon, gentle, reserved, and wrapped in memory, a silent stone adrift in Jupiter's vast domain. Fact 49. A moon that's never changed. Among all of Jupiter's moons, Callisto is perhaps the most unchanged, a relic from the early days of the solar system. While Io erupts and Europa shifts, Callisto remains frozen in time. Its ancient surface is a mosaic of craters, some overlapping, others perfectly preserved. Unlike its siblings, Callisto shows no signs of tectonics, volcanism, or resurfacing. The icy crust has remained nearly untouched for over 4 billion years. Scientists believe it may not even be fully differentiated inside, meaning its layers of rock and ice are still mixed, much as they were when it first formed. Because it lies far from Jupiter's gravitational tug, Callisto avoids the tidal stresses that heat the inner moons. It spins slowly, orbits gently, and simply exists, quiet, consistent, and ancient. If you were to stand on its surface, the stars would look just as they did eons ago. Callisto is the quiet witness, a moon that keeps the memory of creation just as it was. Fact 50. Dozens more in the dark. Beyond the Galilean moons lies a scattered collection of smaller satellites, over 90 of them, and counting. These irregular moons are faint, distant, and varied. Some are only a few kilometers wide, shaped more like drifting rocks than rounded worlds. Most were likely captured by Jupiter's gravity long ago, asteroids and debris caught in its pull, drawn into elongated orbits that loop far beyond the planet. Some travel in clusters, grouped into families that may have once been a single larger moon, shattered by impact. These tiny companions do not shine, and they are not easy to spot. But they are there, quietly circling, adding to the complexity of Jupiter's domain. Each one has a story written in its path, a fragment of the solar system's ancient dance. We may never visit them all, but their presence deepens Jupiter's mystery. In the vast shadow of the giant, even the smallest moons have a place to call home. Fact 51. Two swarms that follow and lead. Jupiter's companions are not limited to moons. In its orbit around the Sun, the giant planet is flanked by two great swarms of asteroids known as the Trojan asteroids. One group travels ahead of Jupiter in its path. The other follows behind. These clusters sit at gravitationally stable points, called Lagrange points, where the pull of Jupiter and the Sun creates safe zones for objects to linger. There are thousands of known Trojans, and likely many more still unseen. They vary in size and shape, remnants from the earliest days of the solar system. Some scientists believe they may hold clues about the materials that formed the outer planets, untouched, unchanged, and preserved in darkness. These swarms are not chaotic. They drift with Jupiter in harmony, locked into a balanced dance that has lasted for billions of years. They are the planet's quiet entourage, shadows that lead and follow, never straying too far. Fact 52. Asteroids trapped in harmony. Jupiter's Trojan asteroids are unlike anything else in the solar system. These ancient space rocks don't orbit the planet like moons. Instead, they share its orbit around the Sun. Two great clouds of material, one leading, one trailing, locked into a perfect gravitational balance. These regions are called Lagrange points, places where the gravity of the Sun and Jupiter cancel out in just the right way. It's as if these asteroids have found a pocket of calm in the midst of the Sun's powerful pull. The Trojans drift slowly, following the same path as Jupiter, year after year, century after century. Their orbits are stable and slow, a cosmic caravan that travels without haste. These objects are thought to be as old as the planets themselves, leftovers from the chaotic days of planet formation. Preserved by time and distance, they may hold clues to what the solar system was like before Earth was born. In Jupiter's orbit, they have rested for billions of years, untouched and unhurried. Fact 53. Why the Trojans stay put. In a universe where so much changes, the Trojan asteroids remain curiously fixed. Their stability comes from a delicate balance between gravity and motion. As Jupiter orbits the Sun, it creates two gravitational wells, one 60 degrees ahead of it and one 60 degrees behind. These are the L4 and L5 Lagrange points. Any object placed in these spots will tend to stay there, gently pulled back into place if it drifts too far. It's a bit like a marble sitting in a shallow bowl. It may wobble, but it won't escape easily. That's why these Trojans, though small and scattered, have remained in their places for eons. Some of them may even harbor their own tiny moons, moonlets orbiting asteroids, like miniature solar systems within the greater balance of Jupiter's path. These swarms may not glow or swirl like Jupiter's clouds, but they are a quiet marvel of celestial mechanics. They are the quiet passengers of time, content to follow, never straying from the path. Fact 54. Lucy's quiet mission. Among them, to learn more about these mysterious Trojans, NASA launched a mission named Lucy, a robotic explorer designed to visit several of these ancient asteroids for the first time. Launched in 2021, Lucy will travel over 12 years to reach its targets, performing a long looping path through the solar system. It will swing past Earth multiple times for gravity assists before arriving at its first Trojan destinations. Lucy's journey is not rushed. Like the asteroids it studies, it takes its time, drifting across vast distances, quietly capturing data and images from worlds we've never seen. Each asteroid it visits will offer a glimpse into the past, what early solar system material looked like, how planets grew, and what was left behind. Lucy's name comes from the famous fossil that helped reveal our human origins. Now, her namesake seeks to uncover our cosmic origins, not in bones, but in stone. And so, among Jupiter's silent companions, Lucy sails, gently, curiously, patiently. Fact 55. Remnants of the solar system's dawn. The Trojan asteroids, like the quiet rings we are about to explore, are remnants. Fragments from the earliest moments of the solar system's story. They are not leftovers in the sense of waste, but in the way driftwood remains after a tide. These objects never grew into planets. They never joined with others to form moons, but they remained. Some scientists believe that the Trojans may contain the same materials that once filled the outer reaches of the sun's nursery. Icy rock, carbon-rich dust, and primitive compounds untouched by heat or pressure. Their composition may be similar to that of comets, or even to the dark crusts of Jupiter's own irregular moons. But unlike comets, they do not blaze across the sky. They move slowly, quietly, in tandem with Jupiter. If you could gather dust from a Trojan surface, you might hold in your hand the chemical beginnings of a planet that never was. From such silent things, the universe builds its greatest stories. Fact 56. A ring system. Few ever see. Saturn may be the planet of rings, but Jupiter wears them too. Faint, dusky loops of dust that circle close to its surface. These rings are nearly invisible to the naked eye. Even powerful telescopes on Earth cannot always detect them. They were first discovered not by sight, but by shadow. In 1979, as Voyager 1 flew past Jupiter, it saw sunlight scattering through a delicate arc of dust, a barely there shimmer against the blackness of space. Jupiter's rings do not gleam. They do not sparkle. They do not spread wide like Saturn's icy bands. Instead, they are subtle, dusty threads, quiet as whispers, thin as breath. They begin near the planet's atmosphere and stretch outward just past the innermost moons. These rings are thought to be made not of ice, but of fine particles. Fragments of moons struck by meteoroids, ground to powder, and gently lofted into orbit. Like soot caught in a breeze, they drift in place, hidden in plain sight. Fact 57. Dust from dancing moons. Jupiter's rings are not ancient relics from its birth. They are living features, constantly replenished by its closest moons. Tiny satellites like Amalthea, Thebe, and Adrastea orbit deep within the ring zone. When small meteoroids strike these moons, which happens often, they kick up dust and debris. These particles don't fall back. Instead, they drift outward and become part of the rings themselves. Some of the dust spirals inward toward Jupiter, drawn slowly by the planet's gravity and magnetic field. Other grains drift outward, caught in the quiet tug of sunlight. The result is a dynamic veil of motion, a ring system made not of permanence, but of soft renewal. The rings are constantly fading and constantly being rebuilt. They are not grand, but they are graceful, a halo of dust, born from moonlight and motion. Fact 58. A halo made of silence. Jupiter's ring system isn't bold. It doesn't shine across the sky or cast shadows across moons. Instead, it whispers, a faint shimmer that hugs the giant planet in near invisible stillness. Scientists call it a halo ring, a diffuse band of fine dust that rises above and below the main ring plane, forming a soft, smoky shell. It's not flat, like Saturn's icy disks. It's three-dimensional, wide, tall, and faint, like mist rising from an unseen pond. This halo may stretch thousands of kilometers above Jupiter's equator, and yet it is barely there. The particles that form it are no larger than the width of a human hair. They drift and tumble, shaped by the planet's magnetic field and the push of light itself. To look at this halo directly is nearly impossible, but when light shines through it just right, it glows faintly, like dust caught in sunlight near a window. It is Jupiter's softest feature, a quiet shimmer in the dark. Fact 59. The ring that glows in infrared. Though Jupiter's rings are nearly invisible to our eyes, they glow faintly when viewed in infrared light. In this wavelength, just beyond what we can see, the heat of the tiny dust particles reveals their gentle presence. Infrared cameras aboard spacecraft like Galileo and Juno have captured these elusive rings, tracing their curves and thicknesses through warmth instead of color. The glow is subtle, but unmistakable, a warm sigh against the cold of space. The brightest part of the ring system is called the main ring, which lies closest to Jupiter and is fed by dust from the tiny inner moons. It's not made of ice, like Saturn's rings. It's darker, sootier, more like ash than snow. Yet even in that darkness, it glows gently with the heat of scattered sunlight. To see Jupiter's rings in infrared is to witness warmth where the eye finds none, a reminder that not all beauty shines in visible light. Some things must be felt, not seen. Fact 60. A delicate veil. Around a giant, Jupiter is immense, massive beyond comprehension, swirling with storms and wrapped in magnetism. And yet, it wears its ring like a veil, not grand or glittering, but fragile, thin, and quiet. This veil does not announce itself. It doesn't blaze across the sky, but it is real, constantly forming, constantly fading, made of dust and time, of moon fragments and motion. Unlike the moons or storms, Jupiter's ring system isn't about power. It's about persistence. Each particle has been lifted, scattered, and caught in the balance between gravity and sunlight. And though each speck is small, together they form something vast and beautiful. When we think of giants, we think of strength. But Jupiter reminds us that giants can also wear gentleness, that even the mightiest worlds can hold soft, hidden grace. The ring is a whisper, a breath of dust around a world of storms. Fact 61. Why Jupiter shapes. Orbits. Jupiter's gravity is immense, second only to the suns in the solar system. And because of this, it doesn't just influence its own moons and rings. It shapes the paths of comets, asteroids, and even other planets. For billions of years, Jupiter has acted as a kind of celestial conductor, nudging and redirecting objects with its pull. Its gravity helps stabilize the orbits of the inner planets, keeping them from drifting too far or too close to the Sun. But it also clears space. As the solar system formed, Jupiter swept its orbit clean, preventing another planet from forming nearby. It stirred up the asteroid belt, stirred comets from deep space, and even helped sculpt Saturn's path. To see Jupiter in motion is to watch the architecture of orbits, an invisible hand reaching outward, tuning the music of the planets. In silence, it rearranged the solar system, and the solar system still dances to its rhythm. Fact 62. How Jupiter protected Earth. Though it lies far beyond Mars, Jupiter has quietly shielded Earth for eons. Its immense gravity draws in comets and deflects asteroids, acting as a cosmic shield for the inner solar system. When icy bodies from the distant Kuiper Belt or Oort cloud wander toward the Sun, many pass near Jupiter. There, the planet's gravity either pulls them in, capturing them as moons or destroying them in impact, or flings them outward into deep space. In this way, Jupiter has likely prevented countless collisions with Earth, especially during the solar system's chaotic early years. Without it, we might have faced frequent, devastating impacts, enough to disrupt life's fragile beginnings. Jupiter doesn't stop every threat, but its presence greatly reduces the danger. It is a quiet guardian, standing watch at the edge of the inner planets, turning away dangers we never see. A protector carved from gas and gravity. Fact 63. The day Jupiter saved us from a comet. In July of 1994, Earth watched as Jupiter sacrificed itself, in silence, to protect the solar system. That summer, a broken comet named Shoemaker-Levy 9 crashed into Jupiter's atmosphere in a series of violent, fiery impacts. The comet had been captured by Jupiter's gravity years earlier and torn apart into fragments. When they returned, one by one, they struck the giant planet at over 130,000 miles per hour. The explosions left massive dark scars, some larger than Earth itself, that lingered for weeks. It was the first time humanity had ever witnessed a collision between two solar system bodies in real time. And it was a humbling reminder. Without Jupiter, that comet might have traveled inward, toward our own world. Instead, Jupiter took the blows. It bore them without sound, absorbing the energy in its vast clouds. In that moment, it was not just a planet, it was a shield, a silent giant protector under the stars. Fact 64. Jupiter's role in planet formation. In the beginning, the solar system was a swirling disk of dust and gas, a protoplanetary cloud lit by a newborn sun. Within that cloud, countless small bodies collided and coalesced, forming larger and larger worlds. But not all of them had a chance to grow. As Jupiter formed, it became massive very quickly, a giant in a nursery of infants. Its gravity stirred the disk, disturbing the gentle orbits of nearby planetesimals and scattering them like leaves in a storm. Many of these smaller worlds were ejected from the solar system entirely. Others were sent inward, crashing into forming planets or the sun itself. Jupiter disrupted the calm, reordered the motion, and limited the material that could gather in nearby zones. This is one reason the solar system has only 4 terrestrial planets. Jupiter took up the lion's share of mass in the outer disk, leaving Earth and its siblings to form with what remained. In its rise, it reshaped destiny. A giant's growth gave space for smaller worlds to find their form. Fact 65. How it sculpted the asteroid belt. Between Mars and Jupiter lies the asteroid belt, a vast region filled with rocky fragments, remnants of a world that never came to be. And it is Jupiter's gravity that ensured that this world would never form. Long ago, the region between Mars and Jupiter held enough material to form a planet. But as Jupiter grew, its gravitational pull stirred that region, preventing the slow, steady accumulation of matter. Instead of merging, asteroids were pulled apart. Their orbits made too chaotic to combine peacefully. Over time, collision shattered large bodies into smaller ones, creating the belt we see today, a diverse mix of metals, carbon, and silicate rock. Some asteroids are as small as pebbles. Others, like Ceres and Vesta, are large enough to be called dwarf planets. Jupiter continues to influence the belt even now, creating gaps in asteroid populations called Kirkwood gaps, places where its resonance clears out orbits like a broom through dust. Without Jupiter, the belt might have been a planet. With Jupiter, it is a museum of beginnings. Fact 66. Why there's no planet between Mars and Jupiter. The space between Mars and Jupiter is wide, far wider than the gap between any two neighboring planets in the inner solar system. For a long time, astronomers believed a planet must have once existed there. Some even gave it a name, Phaeton. But now we know the truth. That planet never formed at all. As the early solar system took shape, planetesimals in that region began to grow. But Jupiter's gravitational influence disrupted them constantly, pulling at their orbits, breaking their paths, stirring up collisions before bodies could gather mass. Instead of a planet, what remained was rubble, the asteroid belt, caught in a delicate balance between creation and destruction. Jupiter didn't just prevent a planet from forming. It defined a gap in the system, a quiet space where only fragments remain. That absence tells a story, not of loss, but of influence, of how one planet's gravity sculpted the silence between worlds. Fact 67. Was there once another giant? Some scientists believe that the early solar system may have held not just the giants we know, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, but also a fifth giant planet, now gone. This missing planet is part of a theory known as the Nice model, which suggests that in the early days, the outer planets were packed more closely together, orbiting the Sun in a tight, resonant dance. But over time, their mutual gravity destabilized the arrangement. Jupiter, being the most massive, may have flung this fifth giant out of the solar system entirely. What remains is a kind of gravitational fingerprint, subtle gaps in the Kuiper belt, strange tilts in planetary axes, and the peculiar alignment of orbits. We may never know the name of this missing world. It left no crater, no fragments, no moon to remember it. But its absence still shapes what remains. Jupiter was not always just a stabilizer. In its youth, it may have been a remover, sweeping the sky clean of companions now lost to the dark. Fact 68. The dance between Saturn and Jupiter. Among all the planets, Jupiter's closest companion in mass and influence is Saturn, and the two giants didn't always sit where they are now. They moved, together, in a gravitational dance that shaped the entire solar system. Early in their history, Jupiter and Saturn may have locked into a 2.1 resonance, meaning Jupiter orbited the Sun twice for every one Saturn orbit. This alignment had powerful consequences. It amplified their gravitational effects on the rest of the solar system, sending waves through the protoplanetary disk. These waves disrupted asteroid paths, disturbed orbits, and may have caused the Late Heavy Bombardment, a period when comets and asteroids rained down on the inner planets. Craters on the Moon, Mercury, and Mars bear the scars. Eventually, the two giants drifted apart, moving into their current, more stable positions. But the marks of their early rhythm remain. Jupiter and Saturn didn't just exist. They danced. And in that dance, they shook the sky. Fact 69. The Great Migration of the Giants. Jupiter wasn't always where it is today. In fact, it may have once migrated inward, drawing closer to the Sun before reversing course and drifting back outward. A cosmic journey known as the Grand Tack, named after the sailing maneuver where a boat changes direction. This migration happened when Jupiter was still forming, moving through the swirling disk of gas and dust. As it grew, it pulled on the disk, and the disk pulled back. This exchange of momentum nudged the planet inward toward the warmer part of the solar system. Had it continued, Jupiter might have destroyed the rocky planets in its path. But then Saturn formed and followed, catching up and changing the balance. Their interaction likely reversed Jupiter's course, sending both planets outward to their current orbits. This migration may have saved Earth, allowing our small, delicate world to form in peace. Jupiter wandered, then it returned, and in that return, life found room to begin. Fact 70. The ripple effect across the cosmos. Jupiter's gravity is more than a local force. Like a stone cast into a pond, its movements have sent ripples across the entire solar system. Its early migration reshaped orbits not just near its path, but deep into the Kuiper Belt, the icy region beyond Neptune. Some objects out there have strange, tilted orbits, as if stirred by something long ago. That something may have been Jupiter, passing nearby in its ancient travels. Even today, Jupiter's gravitational reach stretches far. It affects the timing of comets from the Oort cloud, subtly shifts the orbits of distant asteroids, and may even influence the spin of the Sun itself, if only slightly, through the shared center of mass around which they both move. Its presence creates resonances, repeating gravitational patterns that can shape orbits, lock in moons, or eject objects completely. Jupiter does not touch these distant places directly, but its influence is felt, quiet, far-reaching, and unending. Fact 71. Pioneer's first glimpse. In 1973, a small spacecraft called Pioneer 10 became the first human-made object to fly past Jupiter. It was a tiny probe, launched on a simple mission to see the giant planet up close for the first time in human history. As it approached, Pioneer 10 captured images of Jupiter's swirling clouds, measured its radiation belts, and studied its magnetic field. It revealed a world far more active and powerful than anyone had expected. The spacecraft passed within 130,000 kilometers of the cloud tops, surviving intense radiation that nearly overwhelmed its instruments. It showed us that Jupiter's magnetic field was vast and strong, and that its environment was not just beautiful, but dangerous. And then, Pioneer 10 continued outward, becoming the first craft to cross the asteroid belt and eventually leave the solar system, heading into interstellar space. It was the first of many, but it was the one that opened the door. Fact 72. Voyager's close encounter. Just a few years after Pioneer, the twin Voyager spacecraft, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, made their own journeys past Jupiter. Their missions were longer, more ambitious, and armed with better cameras and instruments. In 1979, Voyager 1 flew past the gas giant and revealed things no one had ever imagined. It captured stunning photos of the Great Red Spot, revealed new moons, and, most surprisingly, discovered active volcanoes erupting on Io. This was the first time we had ever seen volcanic activity beyond Earth. Voyager 2 followed, confirming the findings and exploring more of Jupiter's complex magnetosphere and faint ring system. Together, they transformed Jupiter from a distant light into a living, breathing world, full of storms, heat, and surprises. And then, like messengers with secrets, they sailed onward, toward Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. But it was Jupiter that greeted them first, and the giant greeted them with both storm and silence. Fact 73. Galileo's Grand Tour. In 1995, after a 6-year journey across the solar system, the Galileo spacecraft arrived at Jupiter. becoming the first mission to orbit the giant planet. It did not pass by and continue onward, like Voyager or Pioneer. Galileo stayed. It watched. It learned. For nearly 8 years, Galileo circled Jupiter, diving in and out of its intense radiation belts and weaving among its moons. It studied volcanic Io, icy Europa, cratered Callisto, and massive Ganymede in detail. It revealed lightning deep within Jupiter's clouds, hidden rings, and mysterious magnetic anomalies. But Galileo's greatest gift was time. It didn't just glance at Jupiter. It observed seasons, watched storms evolve, and traced how the moons pulled on one another across years. Despite radiation damage to its systems and a failed high-gain antenna, Galileo sent back volumes of data, more than anyone had hoped. It orbited a world of clouds and brought back clarity. In the silence between signals, it told Jupiter's story. Fact 74, the probe that fell into the clouds. As Galileo entered orbit, it released something precious, a small, self-contained probe that descended into Jupiter's atmosphere. It was the only human-made object ever to touch Jupiter, if only for a brief blazing moment. The probe plunged into the clouds at over 100,000 miles per hour. A protective shell shielded it from the heat, until parachutes deployed and it began to fall more gently through the upper atmosphere. For nearly an hour, the probe sent back data as it sank, measuring temperature, wind speed, composition, and pressure. It found towering winds, stronger than any hurricane on Earth, and fewer water clouds than expected. It recorded a deep, dry, turbulent descent into a stormy layer, unlike anything we've seen since. Then, at around 160 kilometers below the cloud tops, the pressure and heat became too much. The probe was crushed and vaporized, disappearing into the very body of the planet. Its fall was brief, but what it learned shaped decades of science. Fact 75, Juno's poetic orbit. Today, Jupiter is orbited by a new visitor, the Juno spacecraft, launched in 2011 and arriving in 2016. Juno takes a very different path, a long, looping polar orbit that dives close over Jupiter's poles, then swings far out to escape the worst of the radiation. This special orbit allows Juno to see things no mission has seen before, including Jupiter's glowing auroras, deep cloud bands, and the gravitational quirks that hint at the planet's core. Juno travels slowly, taking its time, passing close to Jupiter every 53 days like a curious guest at a grand stormy palace. It spins like a top to keep itself stable, gathering magnetic and gravitational data in delicate arcs. Juno does not shout. It listens. It maps. It whispers. And it shows us that Jupiter is not just a gas giant, but a planet with rhythm, complexity, and hidden grace. Fact 76, a spacecraft. Powered by the sun. Juno is the first spacecraft to travel so far and still be powered entirely by sunlight. Jupiter lies 5 times farther from the sun than Earth. Out there, sunlight is weak and cold, a soft, distant glimmer rather than a warming blaze. And yet, Juno's wings catch enough of that light to power everything it needs. Its 3 massive solar panels stretch outward like petals, over 20 meters wide from tip to tip. They rotate gently as the spacecraft orbits, keeping themselves aligned to the faint solar rays. Despite the cold and darkness, these panels collect the sun's quiet energy and convert it into the strength needed to study a world of storms. No previous mission to Jupiter relied on the sun. Nuclear power was once thought essential, but Juno proved that with precision and patience, even dim sunlight can illuminate giants. Its journey is a testament to light and to what can be done with just a whisper of power. Fact 77. Why Juno spins like a top. If you could see Juno drifting above Jupiter, you'd notice something curious. It's spinning, not drifting lazily or tumbling, but rotating smoothly, like a spinning top. This isn't by accident. Juno's spin is part of its design. As it turns, it stabilizes itself, much like how a bicycle stays upright while moving. The spinning also helps its instruments scan evenly, sweeping their sensors across the planet in rhythmic arcs. Every 30 seconds, Juno completes one full rotation. This rotation allows its microwave radiometers to peer deep into the cloud layers and lets its magnetometers trace the invisible lines of Jupiter's magnetic field. This quiet spin gives the spacecraft grace and balance in a turbulent environment. It doesn't fight Jupiter's forces. It flows with them, rotating through space in harmony with the rhythms it measures. Even in space, motion brings stability, and in that spin, Juno finds clarity. Fact 78. What Juno has seen beneath the clouds. Perhaps Juno's greatest gift is its ability to see beneath Jupiter's swirling clouds, to peer into the planet's deep, unseen layers. Using microwave instruments, Juno has discovered that Jupiter's storms extend far deeper than we imagined. The Great Red Spot, once thought to be shallow, reaches hundreds of kilometers into the atmosphere. The planet's iconic bands also stretch downwards, not just surface winds, but deep planetary jet streams. Juno has also mapped variations in gravity that suggest Jupiter's core is not compact and solid, but diffuse, a fuzzy core that may be partly dissolved into the surrounding metallic hydrogen. It's as if Jupiter's interior is not one thing, but a gradient, fading slowly from dense rock to fluid metal to cloud and sky. Through all of this, Juno continues to orbit, measure, and reveal, not by tearing open the planet, but by listening carefully, layer by layer, orbit by orbit. Fact 79. The gravity. Science of Jupiter. Juno carries no seismometer, no drill, no deep diving probe, yet it can feel the structure of Jupiter itself. How? Through gravity. As Juno orbits the planet, it speeds up and slows down ever so slightly, pulled more or less, depending on what lies below. These tiny shifts in motion are measured by tracking radio signals from Earth with exquisite precision. By analyzing these gravitational wobbles, scientists can infer the distribution of mass inside Jupiter, how deep the weather goes, where the dense materials lie, and whether a core exists or has blurred into the metallic hydrogen that surrounds it. These subtle signals have revealed that Jupiter's interior is not rigid and simple, but fluid and dynamic. The bands of clouds seen from above extend thousands of kilometers downward. The core, once thought to be small and rocky, is now believed to be large, diffuse, and partially dissolved. Through nothing more than motion and math, Juno reads the shape of a giant, and Jupiter answers, not in words, but in weight. Fact 80. What we've yet to learn, even with all we've seen, the clouds, the storms, the moons, and magnetism. Jupiter remains full of secrets. We still don't know the full story of its formation. Was it born exactly where it is now? Or did it wander across the young solar system before settling into place? Did it stop another planet from forming, or push one away into darkness? We don't fully understand its fuzzy core, what it's made of, how big it is, or how it behaves under such crushing pressure. And the question of life beneath Europa's ice remains one of the most profound in all of science. Jupiter challenges what we think we know about gas giants, about planetary systems, and even about what kinds of worlds might orbit other stars. Every orbit of Juno brings answers, and deeper questions. In this way, Jupiter remains not only a planet, but a mystery, a storm we are still learning to read. Fact 81. The king of the Roman gods. Long before telescopes or spacecraft, people looked up at the night sky and saw a wandering star. Bright, slow-moving, and grand. They named it Jupiter, after the king of the Roman gods. To them, this planet was not just a light, it was a presence, a symbol of strength, rulership, and law. Jupiter governed the skies in myth as he governed the heavens in orbit, massive, radiant, and reliable. Even earlier, the Babylonians knew this planet as Marduk, a god of order and creation. Other cultures saw it as a sign of power, a giver of wisdom, or a heavenly protector. Its brightness set it apart. Among the 5 visible planets, Jupiter was the largest, the slowest, and the most enduring. It became a beacon of meaning, a steady light in the changing heavens. Long before science, people knew Jupiter mattered, and through story, they gave it voice. Fact 82. The brightest star. That isn't a star. To the naked eye, Jupiter glows like a steady golden star. It doesn't twinkle like distant suns. It shines with a soft, unwavering presence. Only the moon and Venus outshine it in the night sky. And when it's high overhead, Jupiter dominates the heavens. Because of its brightness, ancient cultures often gave it divine importance. It moved slowly among the constellations, tracing a regal path across the zodiac. People watched its return each year and marked it as a sign of good fortune, royal birth, or divine attention. Even today, when you step outside on a clear night and see that calm light shining above the horizon, you're witnessing the reflected sunlight of a world more than 600 million kilometers away. Jupiter isn't a star. It never burned with fusion or fire. And yet, from here on Earth, it gleams like one, a constant celestial lantern glowing softly through the dark. Fact 83. Jupiter's role in astrology. In astrology, Jupiter has long been known as the planet of expansion, a symbol of wisdom, abundance, and higher purpose. Astrologers see it not as a force that controls, but as a mirror, reflecting the themes of optimism, growth, and long journeys. It's the planet of scholars, philosophers, travelers, and spiritual seekers. Because Jupiter moves slowly through the zodiac, spending about a year in each sign, it's seen as a planet of influence rather than impulse. Where it rests in a chart is thought to reveal where a person may experience luck, learning, or meaning. In Roman mythology, Jupiter ruled with justice and power. In astrology, he still represents those themes: fairness, generosity, and a desire to understand the bigger picture. Whether you believe in the stars' influence or not, it's soothing to think of this distant planet as a symbol of grace, a reminder to expand our view, to seek knowledge, and to grow with hope. Fact 84. A symbol of wisdom and power. Across cultures, Jupiter has represented not only kingship and divinity, but also wisdom, the kind that grows slowly, like rings in a tree or orbits in space. The ancient Greeks called the planet Zeus, the Sky Father, the one who ruled Olympus with thunder and law. The Romans renamed him Jupiter, god of justice and authority. In India, the planet is called Guru, meaning teacher or guide, and is associated with learning and insight. Even outside mythology, artists and thinkers have turned to Jupiter as a symbol of greatness. Not the loud, boastful kind, but the kind that listens, watches, and leads by presence. To gaze at Jupiter is to feel something larger than yourself, not just a ball of gas, but a representation of what it means to be vast, in mind, in spirit, in time. Fact 85. how ancient skywatchers named it. Long before telescopes or satellites, humans looked skyward and gave names to the wandering lights above. Jupiter, the slowest and brightest of the visible planets, captured special attention. To the Babylonians, it was Marduk, the god of creation and order. They tracked its movement across the sky with careful records, using it to shape calendars and guide rituals. In ancient China, Jupiter was called the year star, its 12-year cycle aligning with their zodiac and guiding the rhythm of time itself. To the Maya, it played a role in cosmology, encoded in complex calendars and ceremonial alignments. The Greeks named it after Zeus, their king of gods. And later, the Romans renamed it Jupiter, the sky father who ruled with thunder. In India, it was known as Brihaspati, the teacher of the gods. Every culture, every language gave this gentle light a place in story and meaning, not just because of its brightness, but because it moved slowly, steadily, like time itself. Fact 86. The moons in myth and legend. Jupiter's largest moons, the Galilean Four, each carry names tied to myth. These aren't just labels. They are reflections of ancient stories, woven with human meaning. Io, the volcanic moon, was a priestess of Hera in Greek mythology, pursued and transformed by Zeus. Her fiery surface seems to echo that restless tale, full of change and eruption. Europa, calm and icy, was a Phoenician princess courted by Zeus in the form of a bull. Her namesake moon, smooth and bright, may hide an ocean beneath its still face, a place where life might quietly stir. Ganymede, the largest moon, was a beautiful mortal boy, taken by Zeus to serve as cupbearer to the gods. He was made immortal, just as his namesake moon has become a giant among satellites. Callisto, the eldest and quietest, was a companion of Artemis, transformed into a bear and placed among the stars. Her cratered face feels like a record of quiet watching. These names remind us that even cold worlds can carry warm stories. Fact 87. The music of Holst's Jupiter. In the early 20th century, English composer Gustav Holst created a symphonic suite called The Planets, a musical journey through the solar system as imagined in sound. Each movement captured the character of a planet, and Jupiter's was perhaps the most beloved, a movement titled Jupiter, the bringer of jollity. The music is bold, joyful, full of grandeur and motion. Sweeping strings mimic orbits. Bursts of brass echo the planet's might. And in the center, a gentle, hymn-like melody rises, later adapted into the English patriotic song, I Vow to Thee, My Country. Holst's Jupiter isn't just big. It is noble, festive, and full of life. Like the planet itself, it balances strength and serenity, power and grace. Even in music, Jupiter moves slowly, and the heart follows. Fact 88. Jupiter in science fiction. Jupiter has long been a favorite subject of science fiction, not just because of its size, but because of its mystery. Its swirling clouds, many moons, and immense presence have made it the perfect canvas for cosmic imagination. In Arthur C. Clarke's 2001, A Space Odyssey, Jupiter is the site of a transformative encounter, a place where humanity touches something greater. The planet becomes a threshold between the known and the unknown, between science and transcendence. Other stories imagine colonies on its moons, floating cities in its upper atmosphere, or mining missions harvesting energy from its magnetic field. Some tales imagine its storms hiding alien life. Others see it as a gatekeeper, protecting Earth from deeper dangers in space. And then there is Europa, Jupiter's frozen moon with a possible ocean beneath. It has become a stage for fiction about hidden life, lonely explorers, and deep-sea discoveries beneath the ice. In fiction, Jupiter is never just background. It is a question waiting to be asked. Fact 89. Stories of life in Europa's sea. Among Jupiter's many moons, Europa holds a special fascination. Beneath its icy shell lies a saltwater ocean, warmed not by sunlight, but by the tidal kneading of Jupiter's gravity. That hidden sea may be one of the most promising places for life beyond Earth. And so, Europa has become a symbol of possibility, a quiet world where life might swim in the dark. Science fiction has imagined submarines diving through the ice, alien creatures that glow in the deep, or microbial life drifting silently in a salt-rich tide. Some stories are adventurous. Others are quiet and contemplative. Stories of loneliness, wonder, and the hope of connection. Even in scientific circles, Europa captures imagination. NASA's Europa Clipper mission, planned to launch soon, will scan the moon closely, looking for hints of heat, chemistry, and motion. Europa invites a simple, powerful question. What if we are not alone? What if, in a sea so far away, something already dreams? Fact 90. A muse for poets and stargazers. Jupiter has inspired not only scientists, but poets and skywatchers for centuries, drawn to its steady glow, its rhythm in the heavens, and its grandeur in silence. In the ancient world, it was a light that moved with purpose, unlike the fixed stars. That motion made it feel alive, not just a body in space, but a traveler with intent. In literature, Jupiter has been called the shepherd of the stars, the old king, and the slow-burning lantern of heaven. Writers have turned to it when speaking of destiny, endurance, or the vastness of things we may never understand. Looking up at Jupiter on a quiet night, you may feel that same poetic pull. The stars are far, but they are also familiar. And Jupiter, bright, unwavering, reminds us that even the largest things in the universe can bring a sense of calm. It is a muse of movement, a gentle giant drifting in verse. Fact 91. The outer moons in shadow. Beyond the bright orbits of the Galilean moons, far from the warmth of Jupiter's glowing face, lie dozens of smaller, shadowy moons, quiet travelers in the dark. These outer moons are not spherical or smooth. Many are irregular, like captured asteroids, their paths tilted, stretched, and strange. Some orbit in the opposite direction of Jupiter's spin, suggesting they didn't form there at all, but were pulled in from elsewhere long ago. Moons like Pasiphae, Sinope, and Ananke drift in quiet obscurity, taking hundreds of days to complete a single orbit. They don't shine like Europa or churn like Io. Instead, they wait in the cold, silent reaches of Jupiter's gravitational hold. These are the outermost echoes of Jupiter's formation, remnants of collisions, captures, and ancient rearrangements. They may seem forgotten, but they are part of the story. Every kingdom has distant lands, and Jupiter's are wrapped in shadow and time. Fact 92. The edge of Jupiter's gravity. Though we often picture Jupiter as a round, striped world, its true reach is much larger, defined not by its size, but by its gravity. The region of space where Jupiter's gravity dominates is called its Hill sphere, a vast invisible bubble stretching nearly 50 million kilometers in all directions. Within this sphere, Jupiter's pull is stronger than the Sun's, and any object wandering inside may be caught in its orbit. This is why Jupiter has so many moons. Its gravitational well is deep, and it extends like a net, quietly sweeping the space around it. Some objects only visit briefly before being flung away. Others remain, becoming permanent companions, or crashing down through its atmosphere in fiery arcs. This unseen boundary marks where Jupiter ends, not in matter, but in influence. Beyond it, the Sun reclaims control. But within, Jupiter holds dominion in silence. Fact 93. The gateway to the outer planets. For spacecraft traveling through the solar system, Jupiter is not just a destination, it's a gateway. Because of its massive gravity, spacecraft can use Jupiter to slingshot toward the outer planets. This technique, called a gravity assist, allows a small probe to gain speed without using extra fuel, simply by borrowing momentum from the giant. Voyager, Cassini, New Horizons, and even the Parker Solar Probe all use Jupiter as a cosmic lever. By passing close to its immense mass, they curved their paths and gained speed, flung outward into deep space like stones skipping across a river. In this way, Jupiter is not just a planet. It is a helper, a silent boost in the dark, aiding us in our search for understanding. It opens the door to Saturn, to Neptune, to Pluto and beyond, a celestial springboard, whispering, "Go farther." Fact 94. Jupiter's subtle grip on time. Jupiter's gravity isn't just immense, it's precise. Over billions of years, its presence has helped shape the rhythms of the solar system, including those that govern Earth. Because of its size, Jupiter plays a quiet role in stabilizing the orbits of planets, including ours. Its gravitational presence reduces the wobble of Mars, helps preserve the asteroid belt, and has likely prevented chaotic shifts that might have otherwise threatened Earth's long-term habitability. In this way, Jupiter is a silent keeper of order, not through force, but through balance. Its orbital cycle also lines up with ancient calendars. Every 12 years, Jupiter completes one journey around the Sun, and in many cultures, that cycle became a measure of time. From the Chinese zodiac to ancient Sumerian sky maps, Jupiter's path marked the turning of eras. It is not just a clock in space, but a quiet metronome, keeping time with gravity and light. Fact 95. Tides beyond the moon. We often associate tides with the moon, its gentle pull on Earth's oceans. But Jupiter, too, creates tides, not on Earth, but on its own moons. Its immense gravity squeezes and stretches them as they orbit, especially the closest ones like Io and Europa. This tidal flexing heats their interiors, melts ice into oceans, and fuels volcanoes that erupt in silence across the void. Without Jupiter's pull, these moons might be still, frozen, and geologically silent. But instead, they are alive with motion, heated not by a star, but by gravity's slow, kneading rhythm. This hidden power, invisible yet profound, shows how energy can emerge from motion alone. In the quiet cold of the outer solar system, Jupiter brings warmth, not with fire, but with pull. Like a great tide that never breaks, it stirs life where none should be. Fact 96. The future explorers. Jupiter's story isn't over. New missions are coming to study its atmosphere, its rings, and especially its moons. NASA's Europa Clipper and the European Space Agency's JUICE mission, Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer, are both set to arrive in the next decade. These spacecraft will orbit and fly by Jupiter's moons, scanning their surfaces, peering beneath their ice, and searching for signs of habitability. What they find may change how we understand life in the universe. But even if no life is found, the discovery itself, of oceans, of heat, of chemistry, will deepen our awe. Jupiter will continue to draw us in, with storms that never end, with moons that quietly wait, and with the promise of secrets just beyond reach. One day, Perhaps humans will orbit it. Perhaps they will walk Europa's frozen plains or dive beneath its sea. And when they look back toward the sun, they will see Earth, small and blue, and Jupiter, immense and calm, still watching. Fact 97. The oldest guardian. Jupiter is ancient. Formed more than 4.5 billion years ago, it was one of the first children of the Sun, born just after the star itself began to glow. In the young solar system, chaos reigned. Collisions were constant. Planets struggled to grow. But Jupiter, vast and quick to gather mass, became a kind of protector. Its gravity helped to sweep away dangerous debris, hurling comets, asteroids, and planetesimals out of the inner solar system. Some of that material struck Jupiter itself, leaving no scars, only brief flashes in its clouds, then silence. In this way, Jupiter became a shield. Its presence may have spared Earth from countless impacts during our planet's fragile beginnings, and without that protection, life here may never have had the chance to emerge or to endure. It did not know us, and yet it guarded us, a silent giant, always turning. Fact 98, a symbol of harmony in the solar system. If the Sun is the heart of the solar system, then Jupiter may be its anchor, a stabilizing presence that balances the orchestra of planetary motion. Its immense mass affects everything around it. The orbits of comets, the spacing of planets, even the quiet harmony of the asteroid belt, all shaped in part by Jupiter's enduring influence. In science, this balance is expressed through equations and resonance. In art and thought, it becomes something more, an image of stillness and motion, of force guided by grace. To look at Jupiter is to witness cosmic architecture, elegant, enduring, and slow. A reminder that even the most turbulent storms can belong to a deeper order. Jupiter holds many moons, wears many rings, carries many stories, and yet it remains calm, spinning, glowing, watching. In that motion, there is peace. In that orbit, a rhythm older than memory. Fact 99, Earth's distant brother. Though it may seem far away, separated by millions of kilometers, different in size, in structure, in light, there is a strange kinship between Earth and Jupiter. Both are orbiting the same star. Both formed from the same ancient cloud. Both carry moons that dance around them like companions in space. And while Earth cradles life, Jupiter cradles possibility. Worlds of ice, oceans below, energy rising not from sunlight, but from motion and gravity. Some scientists believe that systems like ours may often include a gas giant, and that without Jupiter, Earth might not have formed at all. It shaped the pathways of water and ice, stirred the early disk, and may have helped deliver the ingredients for life. We are different, but we are not separate. In the quiet of night, when Jupiter rises over the horizon, Earth looks toward an ancient sibling, and they remember the cloud that made them both. Fact 100, the giant that sleeps in our sky. Jupiter has no solid ground, no mountains or forests, and yet it feels alive. It spins, it storms, it sings with invisible radio waves. And every night it rises, glowing softly like a golden lantern in the sky. To the eye, it's a distant light, but to the heart, it's something more. A quiet witness to the solar system's birth, a protector in the dark, a reminder that even in the vastness of space, there is rhythm, harmony, and calm. It doesn't need to be close to be comforting. Jupiter just is, turning slowly, shining gently, watching in silence, and somehow that is enough. And as our journey comes to a gentle close, I hope you found a bit of calm among the stars tonight. If you enjoyed drifting through these sleepy facts, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and comment below what topic you'd love to fall asleep to next. When you're ready to keep dreaming, tap the end screen to watch the next Sleepy Astronaut video and continue your quiet voyage through the universe. Sweet dreams, and see you among the stars.